We waited too long.
We didn't get out soon enough.
Nearly 9 inches of rain sent creeks out of their banks and people out of their homes in Riley County. Dozens won't be able to go back still tonight. Good evening. I'm Melissa Bruner. Ralph Hipp is off. We have team coverage of those early morning rescue efforts and how people in the Manhattan area are hoping to start cleanup from those floods tonight. But they could be bracing for another round of rain first, and that's why we begin with Peyton Sanders in the Weather Center. Peyton?
Melissa, that's right. Areas that received lots of heavy rain overnight, expecting more as we move on through the evening and overnight hours. Take a look at these rainfall amounts that we had around Manhattan. Yes, some very big numbers showing up on the map. A measured 11-inch report out of central Riley County. In Manhattan, we had several reports that have measured 4 to 9 inches of rain. That bullseye of heavy rain extended into the western sections of Pottawatomie County as well. And farther to the north last night around Marysville, another bullseye of some very heavy rain with measured amounts between 6 and 10 inches. Very heavy rain led to water-covered roadways, several water rescues last night, and plenty more chances on the way. Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker right now, you can see, yes, more rain in the same areas that had the heavy amounts of rain last night, all this pushing to the north. Nothing severe, and flash flooding is going to continue to be our primary concern as we move on through the next several days. Another area of rain pushing out of Brown County now. That moved through Hiawatha, that activity pushing into Nebraska. But yes, several more rounds of showers and thunderstorms on the way into the upcoming week. We'll have a look at how much more rain we can expect in your full forecast a little bit later on.
Peyton, thank you. And all that rain this morning forced 300 people in Manhattan from their homes and cut power to 750 customers. Dozens will not be able to go back home tonight. 13's Tiernan Shank continues our team coverage. She's live by Anderson Avenue and Garden Way. Tiernan, you saw a major rescue operation there this morning.
Melissa, that's right. But first, take a look at this area here. This entire area with these apartment complexes was underwater this morning. The rescue actually started about 6 a.m. when Manhattan firefighters were knocking on these first floor apartments, urging all those residents to get out. Many of the people we spoke to in this area said they got out with only seconds to spare. Jason Adams woke up to a knock on his door at the Redbud Trailer Park. The next thing he knew, water was rushing towards him.
By the time I unlocked my door, it was up halfway past my tires. It was coming in so fast.
He was one of over 152 Manhattan residents rescued from their home Monday morning.
It really started on the west side of town, over along Scenic Drive when the creek came up over that bridge.
At an apartment complex, people floated to land on boats from the Manhattan Fire Department. Next to the apartments, the Manhattan Running Company moved inventory and electronics out of the way, but the floors and drywall need to be replaced. It's something co-owner Trey Vernon never thought he'd see.
100-year floodplain is actually supposed to be at the base of our parking lot, so that's a long ways away from where it is now.
He says next time they'll be better prepared.
We'll have all the stuff because we bought a bunch of sand and we'll know what to do next time. I mean, luckily the building is cinder block, so it held up where there wasn't doors.
Officials say at one point the water in Wildcat Creek reached 26 feet. Adams says seeing that much water rush towards you is a living nightmare.
I was here in the flood in '93, and so I remember that, and that took out the spillway pretty good, and the flood there, I remember that, but I didn't think it would happen, just from a creek.
Yeah, Melissa, I should mention these Westar trucks are actually just leaving the area. They've been here all day trying to restore power to all these apartment complexes here. I should also mention Riley County Emergency Management is taking names of people with flat bottom boats in case of more heavy rainfall. But everyone here is just hoping to be home tonight. Back to you.
Absolutely, Tiernan, thanks so much. And they think about 75 to 100 people are going to have to shelter overnight and not be allowed back. With those rescue efforts completed, people are now getting a look at how it damaged their homes. 13's Denisha Richard was there today as well. She takes a look at how people in one West Manhattan neighborhood are coping.
Right now, they're in survival mode.
Emotions were high for people in West Manhattan who were rescued by crews as their homes filled with floodwater.
I'd never seen something up close like that before.
A steady stream of boats moved back and forth, filled with people forced to leave mostly everything behind.
Whatever they could carry out on a boat in a bag, 1 or 2 bags, has been kind of the state of mind here.
The rain that began flooding creeks and roads early Monday left people stranded, cars were ruined, and people holding on to whatever is left.
And we had stuff ready to go and we tried to get out.
But the car stalled.
Yeah.
True.
It hasn't sunk in yet.
Fire crews rushed door to door, urging people to evacuate, but the water flowed quickly.
Just a little bit of panic, just trying to get all my belongings together. But I didn't have enough time, so just took baby and dog and wallet and keys, and that's it.
By afternoon, as water receded, sunken cars and debris surfaced. Waiting residents watched, wondering what they'll find when they return home.
The biggest thing now is what's the next step? That's pretty much it, just what's next.
And everyone was safe. There was only a report of one injury, a firefighter involved in the rescue efforts. Officials say many of the apartment residents affected by the flooding did not have renter's insurance. The town of Keats, north of Manhattan, was under an evacuation order this morning. 13's Anna Lamajou is there now tonight. And Ann, you were watching as residents really started this messy cleanup process.
Melissa, I spoke to several residents here in Keats who are now beginning to clean up the mud and water from their homes and cars. Several homeowners tell me that the floods are becoming way too common.
Well, you can see we got flooded. This is 3 years out of 8. We got first flooded in 2010 and then 2011 and now this year.
Around 4:30 this morning, officials began knocking on residents' doors to warn them of flooding in the area. Shortly after, officials issued an evacuation order telling residents to go to the Keats Presbyterian Church. The order was later lifted. All roadways are open in Keats, and now residents are beginning to pick up the pieces to their home.
We've lost all of our cars. It's basically our main transportation.
Like I said, this is my 3rd flood I've been through, and I've had worse. I've actually had in-house, but I mean, this is in the lower side where it's mainly clean up and throw away some things, clean up, and just get things dried out.
As residents dry and clean up their flooded homes, they say they don't want to go through this again.
A lot of shock and disappointment, and I mean, it's just a sad thing to go again and again and again. Experience it every couple of years, and still nothing's changed. So it's really just a lot of shock and heartbroken.
All right, the water has receded here in Keats, and many people have returned to their homes. Now, officials are telling people to be aware of rising water as the rain is expected to continue. Anna Lamajou reporting from Keats.
And thanks so much. And yes, we're going to check back with Peyton again on that weather forecast. The Manhattan-Ogden School District just told us that they will have school tomorrow, but there are several changes in bus service, so we'll post that on WIBW.com. A lot of the changes are due to several roads around Manhattan remaining closed tonight. Riley County Police say 2 bridges on Fort Riley Boulevard and a bridge on Scenic Drive at Anderson Avenue are shut down until engineers can inspect them to ensure they are safe. It's not known how long that will take. Also, roads leading into and out of Hunters Island are closed. That's along South Manhattan Avenue and Molman Road. That means no school bus service for the Hunters Island area tomorrow. RCPD will have extra patrols around the Redbud and Highland Ridge areas as a precaution, since many people in those areas will not be allowed to stay the night. The city of Manhattan does have 2 shelters open for people tonight. One is at Potter Hall in Seco Park. The city says you may bring pets with you to that location. They also opened a second shelter about a half hour ago. That one is at St. Thomas More Church. The ATA bus is taking people to that site, but you cannot bring pets to the St. Thomas More location. USD 383 said they will provide bus service from the shelters tomorrow morning. Also, Kansas State University says students who've been displaced may visit an emergency help center they set up at the Union, or you should contact Student Life if you have any concerns about housing or classes.